What's up, heroes? My name is Clone, and welcome back to Crystalline. After a wonderful evening out with Leanna, it's time to continue our adventure to Embermyst. Let's see how that new adventure goes.
Is everyone now prepared to begin our journey?
I think so. We nod.
Then let us depart.
Let's do so. She leads the way out of the inn back into the quiet city. Remnants of last night's festival litter the ground in a series of petals and general debris. The cleanup detail is hard at work. They wear thick gloves as they half-heartedly remove the decoration and debris. I wonder how long they've been working on this. The festivals continued even after I threw in my hat and went to bed. Leanna and I share a glance, and she smiles. She knows what's up. She knows what's up. We follow Amelia through the twists and turns of the city. Where exactly are we going now?
To the Crystal Rail Station.
The what now? Crystal Rail? That sounds like it might be a train. Leanna speaks up before I even ask.
Where are we taking the Crystal Rail to?
Bazada.
Where the heck is that? She looks up in surprise.
Embermyst is in Bazada?
Or it's a hub to it? I don't know.
They say you can find anything there.
What is Bazada? She shoots Zach a look which he returns with his usual stony gaze. What's so surprising about Bazada?
It's just closer than I expected.
Oh, okay. Whatever you
No,
say.
Embermyst is not within Bazada, but Bazada is the closest station to the location of Embermyst.
Aha. Leanna still seems skeptical, but doesn't push it. I guess we'll find out whether or not Amelia is right. Otherwise, we're going to be in some major trouble for taking her if we don't get the answers we're looking for. We continue the rest of the way in silence. After a few minutes, we arrive at the station. The setup is a similar version of our train stations back home. The ticket booth is right across from the entrance. While they sort out retrieving tickets, I look around. Vendors selling food and trinkets line the perimeter of the enclosed space. The building is mostly empty at this time of morning.
We must hurry if we wish to catch the next Crystal Rail. It is nearing the platform.
Fine, what a buzzkill, okay? Once we get our tickets, we rush down a back hallway which opens up to the platform. That's a pretty train station. Arriving onto the platform is a sleek bullet train, porcelain white with windows dotting the skies. My jaw drops as I watch it hover over the tracks. It doesn't ride the tracks, it hovers. A pair of long crystal rows run along the bottom of the train with identical crystal rows lining the track. This is really cool, actually. Not that it's not it is a big deal. This is so cool. I almost feel giddy as we line up to board. I can't believe I'm about to ride on a hover train. Leanna cocks her head to the side.
Is this not something you're used to?
No. Not exactly. We have trains too, but they mostly run on diesel and electricity now. The original models were powered by steam. Leanna's eyes widen.
That must be some powerful magic.
Kinda. That's not magic. That's just boiling water. This is magic. Leanna smiles.
Boy.
Don't you touch that. The Pango eyes the crystals on the train, his mouth open in anticipation. Leanna notices and snatches him up.
Boy.
Yeah, that's right. No touchy for you. He wriggles at first, but after she gives him a few pats on the head, he calms down and grins at her. We are about to board the train when the attendant stops us.
Sorry, Pongas are not allowed due to equipment which are sensitive to energy absorption.
Oh, no, we can't leave him behind.
Oh,
Leanna looks sadly at the blue guy in her arms.
I'm sorry, my friend, but I think this is where we say goodbye.
No, I'm going to try to take him on board if I can. He blinks back at her in confusion, a worried smile on his face.
Boy?
I don't want to leave him behind. He holds the team together. Leanna's lip trembles.
I'm sorry.
Oh, I'm going to get him on board. He's going to sneak on with me. She gives him a final hug and sets him down on the ground. Then, with glassy eyes full of tears, she rushes into the train. The Pango blinks, clearly confused.
Boy?
That sounded like a goodbye, but I think he's really confused too. Amelia cocks her head to the side and looks at it. The Pango mimics her. Oh, they're going to get along great.
I have not known you long, but I will be saddened to see you go.
You don't know him. She nods and then hops onto the train. Zack looks at the Pango and instinctively his hand protects his guns.
Try not to eat anyone else's weapon.
Just yours.
Poi.
Yeah, I'm not saying goodbye to him, though. I don't wanna. The Pango blinks at Zack's retreating form. Finally, it's my turn. I'll miss you. I guess this is goodbye. Well, you know what? We're going to actually have the conversation with him. He's been through us since the beginning. I guess this is goodbye. I'll admit, you're not so bad. I pat him on the head. Try not to get into too much trouble. He fixes me that same confused stare he gave the others.
Poi?
Oh, please, no. Bye. I follow the others onto the train. While the other people board the train, I join the rest of my group. Leanna tries to control her sniffles while Amelia looks down at her feet. Of course she does. Zack acts as casual as always, but the nod he gives me feels lackluster. We're all feeling the loss of the Pango. I hope he hitched a ride on me. He was my first friend when I came to this world. After we've had a moment to compose ourselves, we search for our train cabin. It's not going to be the same. We pass through a few cars before we finally find our cabin towards the end of the train. Amelia slides open the door, then shuts it immediately. What was that?
Impossible.
What? What's going on? She opens the door again, and we all peer inside. Inside the cozy cabin are plush seats, a rack above the seats to hold any luggage, and a rectangular table in the center. There's also a Pango bouncing happily on the seats.
Boy.
I knew he'd come back. He couldn't just do it.
Pango!
Yeah! Leanna squeals excitedly and scoops him back up into a big hug. We all file into the cabin after her and shut the door before anyone notices the Pango. When Leanna notices our stares, she clears her throat and sets him back down.
But how did you get in here?
Magic. I don't know. Seriously, weren't you just outside a second ago? How did you get in here and find your cabin before we did?
Poi.
What?
Impossible.
You're just as confused as anyone else here. I think the Pango broke Amelia. Zack, as unfazed as always, plops down into one of the seats and leans back.
Some things just can't be explained.
I'm not going to argue with you on this one. With how often the Pango seems to disappear and reappear unexpectedly, you would think we'd be used to it by now. You really would. I take a seat as well, and the Pango hops into my lap. Leanna pouts as the Pango moves away from her. Nah. Amelia seems to have recomposed herself and also takes a seat. Not much later, I feel the jerk of the train departing, and I hear the calming hum of the engine. Both Leanna and Amelia stare out the window. Zack has his head down and his arms crossed. I think he may be asleep, but it's hard to tell. Remembering how we found him at the campsite, I can only assume this guy could literally sleep anywhere. My eyes feel droopy too. Well, we were out late last night. I really went all out last night and did not get enough sleep. I doubt anyone will mind if I just caught up on a few of those hours I lost. When I awaken, everyone else is awake too and looking more bored than ever. Only the Pango snoozes on my lap. How long was I asleep for? Leanna glances at me.
Just a few hours.
Dang. Are we almost there?
No. We will not arrive before tomorrow.
Okay, so we're going to be on this train for a long time. Tomorrow?
Yes.
Yeesh. What am I going to do with all the spare time? I automatically reach into my pocket to pull out my phone, forgetting for a second it doesn't work. Shoot. But then my hand closes in on something equally good. I pull out my deck of cards and lay them out on the table. Leanna cranes her neck to see better.
What do you have there?
Magic. My cards. I cut out the deck and shuffle them. Want to play something? There's enough people that we can play cheat.
How do you play that?
It's easy. Each round, you'll put a card from your hand face down on the center of the table and say what card it is. Like this. I put one down as an example. 1 king. Then everyone else at the table can decide whether or not I'm telling the truth. If you think I'm lying, you call out cheater, and I'll have to reveal the card. If I was lying, then I take all the cards in the pile. If I was telling the truth, then whoever accused me takes all the cards in the pile, and the next person starts a new round. You win by having no cards in your hand.
Sounds like fun. I'll play.
Amelia looks thoughtful. I kinda don't want to play with her. I feel she's able to count cards.
Although I have not partaken in this game before, this sounds like it would be a stimulating challenge.
I feel you're gonna give me quite the challenge on this one. I glance over at Zach. You in? He shakes his head.
I'll pass.
Lame. Leanna frowns.
Why not? I know that mercenaries love card games. And it's not like there's much else to do while we wait.
Maybe this mercenary doesn't like card games. Did you ever think of that?
It's just not my type of game.
Fair. I guess no game then. Let's up the stakes here. Ooh. Can we up the stakes here? I kind of want to up the stakes here. Let's make it interesting for him. What are we going to bet with, though? Make it out, find out. As a mercenary, I think I know what can spark his interest. What if we play for money? Zach sits up and looks at me. Got him.
I thought you didn't have money.
He called me out. I do have money. I fish in my pocket and drop the loose change I have on the table. It's just not usable here. Amelia leads in close and peers at the money. Even Leanna takes an interested glance.
I fail to recognize this type of currency.
That's why I said it's not going to work here. Well, I'm not exactly from Asaria. Amelia stares intently at me. After a long pause, she looks back at the coins.
I see.
I think she'll get it. She's a smart girl. I point out the different types of change I have. Make sure you get the pennies. They're the most valuable.
Are these not made from copper?
Yes.
And the nickel would be made from nickel.
Touché. Also, yes.
Then suffice it as to say, should not the nickel be more valuable than the penny?
Crap, she's onto me. Damn, she got me. Zach leans back into his seat.
If it's not money I can use, then I'm not interested.
Lame.
Zach,
I will pay you for his coins.
Zach sits back up.
Go on.
For any coin of his you receive, I will trade you one of our coins.
Interesting.
Amelia, you really don't have to do that.
No, you really don't.
I know.
Then why are you? Leanna looks uneasily between Zach and Amelia.
All right. Deal.
Now that we got Zach's attention. As Zach settles in, I deal out the cards. Zach frowns when he looks at his hand.
These cards are strange.
I know. Like I said, I'm not from Asaria. I give a brief rundown of the suits and face cards. When I look up from my hand, I see Amelia is staring at me. This is getting a little uncomfortable, just a little bit. Let's start the bet. We all throw our coins on the table. I'll go first. I drop a card face down on the table. 110. Silence. No one reacts. Perfect. Okay, Leanna, it's your go.
Okay.
She slides a card onto the table, her face completely blank.
1, 2.
Okay. We're just gonna keep passing on it. It's too early to call a cheat. I don't know what my hand is. I bet she's telling the truth. Nobody else calls her out either. Amelia's go. Her face even more stoic than Leanna's. Amelia places a card under the table. She's gonna be the toughest to read. Her and Zach.
1 queen.
Okay. Gonna keep passing. Don't know just yet. I don't think she's cheating. Again, neither does anyone else. Maybe they aren't quite understanding how to play, although I guess it is just the first round. Finally, it's Zach's go. In usual Zach fashion, he stoically slips a card down.
2 8s.
Okay.
Cheater.
Does she have 3? Whoa! She was fast. Without breaking from his poker face, he flips over the card to reveal 2 different cards than 8s. Silently, he collects the pile. We count how many cards each person has in their hands, and whoever has the lowest numbers so far collects the first round of bets. We then throw in our next round of bets. Okay, me again. Okay, how are we going to do this here? Do we cheat or stay with truth? I don't trust Amelia. She's going to be the toughest one. Let's see if I can get her to call out with a cheat here. We had a lot of truths last round. Let's switch things up a bit. We're going to go with a poker face. Just straight face, keep everything the same. You don't want to let them know you're cheating. Keeping my face as still and blank as possible, I slip 2 cards onto the table. 2 3s.
Cheater.
I stare at her and reluctantly turn over my cards to reveal a mixture of numbers. I thought I did so well. Huh. Leanna looks slightly worried at her hand, then smooths her face.
2 aces.
She's lying. I think she's lying. I'm calling her on it. Cheat. I saw that moment of worry. She's definitely cheating. Cheater. Leanna proudly flips over 2 aces. Damn it. You tricked me. She giggles. Amelia puts down her cards.
2 7s.
I kind of want to start pointing fingers. I don't care that I'm losing, though. Cheat. Gonna call her out. Cheat. Cheater. Amelia flips over 2 7s. Damn it, I'm awful at this game. I sigh as I collect the pile. Without delay, Zach lays down his cards.
2 5s.
She's calling him a cheater. Before anyone else has a chance to react, Amelia calls out.
Cheater.
Zach grumbles under his breath as he collects the pile.
Why did you bother bluffing when you were the one starting a new pile?
I did it earlier, though.
That's the best time to bluff. Nobody expects you to.
That's why I did it!
Well, Amelia expected it.
I think she could see our cards, though. Zach looks sideways at Amelia.
Because she's some kind of mind-reading witch.
Probably. And she's smiling. Amelia looks smug at Zach's disgruntledness. The bet for this round goes to the winner, and we start a new pot. Back to me again. I'm gonna truth this out. I'm gonna stick with what I do best. I'm gonna show and tell, see if I can throw her off. I might try out Leanna's strategy of tricking me. Maybe she'll fall for her own trick. I purposely let it slip on my face that I might be lying. 1 king. Nobody calls me out. I guess once that's been done, it's kind of hard to fool everyone out again. Oh well. Leanna lays down her card, looking confident.
1 king.
I'm trying to think of everything else. We started off with a 10, though. I'm going to pass on this one. She's not cheating, otherwise she would have been called out. That's the same card I put down last round. I bet she also has one. This feels like her baiting for someone to call out. Nobody calls out. They must think the same thing I do. This game's getting interesting. Amelia wears the same stony face and slips down a card.
1 jack.
You know, not seeing the hand that we have makes this difficult. And I don't want to call her a cheat. I'm going to pass on it. Again, I can't get a read on her, so I fall back on keeping quiet. Zach plays his card. She's going to call him out.
1 6.
Again, Amelia is faster than anyone else.
Cheater.
How does she know? Zach growls in frustration.
How do you know every single time?
It's in his eyes. Amelia just stares at him with her same blank stare, which frustrates Zach even more. It's frustrating me a little bit, too.
This is the dumbest game ever.
Yeah, I know, you're just mad because you're losing. I'm mad too. He throws his cards down on the table and knocks over the coins before crossing his arms. Sore loser. Leanna jumps away from the table as Zack hits it, her eyes wide. I'm a little taken aback and jolt back, which wakes the Pango. Only Amelia remains unfazed.
Boy?
Yeah, I know, buddy. Just relax. So, should we keep playing?
Of course.
Alright, good. Zack picks his cards back up. Leanna and I glance at each other and burst out laughing. At first, Amelia looks at us in bewilderment, but our laughter is so contagious that she breaks into a smile.
Are we playing or what?
Only until you smile, dude. I resume the game with smiles around us. I want to know how she knew. I don't know. The longer we played, the more into the game everyone became. Needless to say, Amelia correctly guessed Zack's cheats every single time, much to Zack's ever-growing frustration. In the end, I won the game with the first to run out of cards. Well, that's how you win the game, duh. When we were tired of cheat, I taught them a couple of other games. It was late into the night when we all decided to turn in and go to sleep. Gotta end the day with the music, of course. I want to know how she knew he was cheating. I'm sure that's something we're gonna discover a little later on, or maybe she's just able to read him. I don't know. The sun shines brightly through the window and splashes on my face, forcing me awake. And we're gonna see what our next day takes us next time, because we should run into that next town very soon here. As always, if you did enjoy the video, let me know by hitting the like button down below or leaving a comment. If you're new to the channel, unleash your power by hitting the subscribe button down below today as well, and I will see all you heroes in the next video. Thanks so much for watching. May the Force be with you, and have a great rest of your day. Take care.